he grew here and he studied here, but I will tell only his name, which is Edi Oga, and he will come here for you. He came especially for you to give you a kind of impulse for your future. Huh? You know, all media is an important factor to raise our voice, so that's why we want to give a name to this activity, because we want to expand. I know it's not easy because we don't have but we will be able to together to structure what we need, which will be not a rocket science. Will be only simple what you need. But I know very well that it's hard to, in an emotional way, it's hard to structure it. So, Mr. Oga.
Good morning. It's not a morning yet. Maybe you are so tired that you need to take a sleep. So good evening, everybody. I was invited by Edi Travel Group, and they told me that we want you to talk about your story, like a successful story. So for the first time, I knew that I was successful. So I'm here just to realize that I'm somebody that the story should be successful. But I should state since the beginning of my speech that maybe I have some elements to say, but my story is not a particular one to be followed by the youth, because I did something that a few people did before me. And this introduced me, and he said that I was born here, I was brought up here, I was educated here, which is, I consider, one of my strongest points from my career, of my career. It is my education. So, in my younger years, you know, we did not have the possibility to, there was no internet. You only have to learn things by the book. When I started my university studies, and I chose medicine. In fact, I did not choose. My friends chose for me because I had the possibility to choose any field I wanted to go due to my excellent marks in the high school. But my best friends went for medicine, and I studied medicine for 6 years. There were the difficult years, 1991, 1997. As far as I can see, most of you were very little at that time. Well, were children mostly. So I was graduated in medicine. I had the general practitioner degree, and I was cast away. I was sent to a remote village, which, you know, I was like very surprised to be sent there. I liked very much the village and the people, but there were no a proper clinic. There were no medical devices for me to practice. So it was then that I thought, for the first time, that I would switch. I would choose another path, another career for myself. So you are watching, you are listening to somebody that abandoned his degree, you know, and went straight ahead for to an unknown path, you know, or a challenging one. It was the year 1998, and here in Elbasan, a radio station began, and I was the first to speak in a private radio. So I said, "Hello, Elbasan, this is Radio Elbasan is speaking." And after that, a private TV channel was started, and I was one of the first speakers and moderators. So I realized that it was, the room for me. I didn't know at the time if I has any talents for these things, but I realized that people would recognize me and what I used to do in the television. I mean, people liked that somehow. So it told me that, okay, I mean, if you study, if you, go ahead and go for this, maybe one day this will be your profession. At the beginning, my parents, my friends, my teachers were a little bit stunned, you know. They would not accept the idea of somebody, a promising doctor, because they saw me like a man that would help them in case of illness and so whatsoever. But I had the idea that media and entertainment in general would be my professional field. It was not easy. In fact, for 10 years, I used to work in public health and media. And it was the year 2008 when I decided to go just media. Maybe you might not like it or might not believe it, but I have changed 30 positions, work positions in my life, and I have been part of more than 100 projects, which I think has endorsed me with a lot of experience from one hand, and got me to know a lot of people. I have traveled all over Albania in one of my projects, and I could name some of my positions, professions, just for you to realize that everybody, maybe in this room or outside, started from the basic, jobs that not everybody wants to do these days. First I was a waiter, then I was a receptionist, then I was a translator, interpreter. I used to teach. I was a teacher in the nursing high school here in Elbasan for some years. And then I worked like a logistician, senior logistics officer, and then a health training officer. And then I jumped to media. So I'm a screenwriter, I'm a stage writer. I speak I have a radio show, television show, so people know me from different areas. I have my students that greet me like, hey, professor. Some others know me from Facebook, some others know me from a radio show or a television show like the TF, maybe you remember. In fact, I wanted to say the last thing. This stage and this theater mean a lot to me. I live 100 meters from here, just in the block, and 4 years ago, approximately, I used to enter this theater for the first time, and this became my second house. So I got inspiration here. I followed I watched every show and every staging here, and then I started to write short plays here in this theater, and this place is special to me because besides being the laboratory for my staging and my writings, here in this particular place I met my future wife-to-be, so my actual wife. Our history just was born here, so every time I have to send her to our romantic place, I don't spend a lot of money because Tirana and the sun, you know that. So I never imagined to speak before my my fellow citizens in English, but I'm very, very pleased to do that. So, and I heard some of your speeches, and I really want to thank the agency, the LA Travel Group, and all the organizers for this activity, because we are in such a need for this kind of conferences and summits and people sharing ideas and experiences, because there is a famous expression, they say, think globally and act locally. I think that we are in the right time. Now we are, people can travel the whole world. People can have access in every material they want to study or to read. So I am very, very glad to be part of this activity. I'm not writing any commitments. I don't commit to anything. I love my town. I live between Tirana and Elbasan because every other weekend I spend in my hometown, sometimes every week. I buy here, 90% of the food I consume in Tirana I buy here because I love Elbasan food and products. Maybe you would like to know what are my skills or what did I do to become a successful media personality. I have not a real profession. I face this when I have to write my profession sometimes. I'm a doctor, no, I'm a journalist, not exactly. So they call me a media personality, and I try to fulfill that name. So one of the things that I believe made me a successful professional is the fact that I dare to go to Tirana, which now is very near, very close, but imagine the old road, the Krava, the famous road. One day I sat down and I just calculated how many times I did the road forth and back, and it was like 2,400 times. So they say that this is a difficult road, so I believe I have risked my life 2,400 times. There are many people, many friends of mine that did that maybe more than myself, but now that I see that Tirana is is like 25 minutes drive, I understood that I lived in a very difficult times, and in my dreams, I always used to dream a tunnel, a short road, because I would like Tirana and Elbasan to become as close as they are now. So, sacrifice. I have sacrificed a lot. Hard work. I had to work hard to achieve my goals. Persistence. Not every time you want to do something, you are supported by people. Sometimes they put obstacles on your road, so you have to insist, to persist, and to go through the difficulties. I'm not the person that likes to give, the kind of person that likes to give advice to people. This is not my case. I would like to say just a few words to the youngsters here. Learn the languages. First of all, learn the computer and digital things, media, because the future is digital. And dare to challenge yourself and to challenge anybody. Think big for your best, because maybe you don't go far, but even the road, even the walk probably will be worth it. So we are living now in a different era. You can find anything you need to fulfill your dreams and your goals. Thanks again for your time. I will try to keep it a little bit short because I know I suppose your day was longer and tired, so
Thank you, Edi, for everything.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I would like to be here again next year. I hope that this conference will be held this, next year. And I would be glad if 50% of the commitments are
we hope so.
realized. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.